You're not to blame.
I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like having fun. People who laugh. Okay! We're wigging out! Oh, all right, calm down. Woman, 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 woman. Good morning. Good morning, world. It's Tim Heidecker. It is Office Hours Live, starring Tim Heidecker, Doug Lucenhoff, Vic Berger, and Aristotle's back there running the video, making sure we get out there loud and clear. We've got Matt Carlin back at his homestead, self-quarantining. We are here in the flesh, trying to keep a safe distance. I'm wearing the gloves. I've got... That's got to be, oh, I know what it is. It's my computer. Hold on. Because my, so many people call. That was spooky. That was like from a ghost.
I think I'm, no, I guess I am.
Your music is still going.
No, that's Vic's music.
I forgot I was doing that.
Vic, are you, mic check, mic check, Vic Berger, mic check.
It is so loud, like my ears are bleeding. Like,
well, there's something going on your end that you can't.
No, was this connected from you though? I don't know.
I'm.
I don't know. Oh, what is? Right there. Let me try it again.
Better.
That's a little better. Yeah, just down a little bit more if you can. All right.
All right, listen, folks, we are live, and we're at Doug's house again. We're trying to come down from the old 9 to 5 last week. Thank you very much for all that. I'm wearing these gloves out of, protection for myself and for my friends, honestly. Why don't we show the room a little bit, Aristotle?
What's it like being the coolest guy in town?
Vic, how's the sound out there, I guess?
It's pretty loud, but
it's pretty loud.
It's good to be.
Well, everyone says you're too low, so I'll turn you up.
Okay, turn me up. Turn it up.
You sound fine, okay? Everybody sounds fine. We always do this. And one of the dreams I have, one of the visions I have for the show is that we will get to a place where we don't spend the first 5 minutes of the show talking about how the things sound. You don't listen to the radio. Imagine turning on NPR or something and Latch Me Sing or Doug, help me out here.
Steve Inskeep.
Steve Inskeep spends. This is NPR. The time is 5 o'clock Eastern. These are your top headlines. But before we give you our top headlines, how do we sound? Can we get some feedback from the audience out there?
Tim, you know what'd be cool?
What?
You know what'd be the ultimate if we had Butch Vig back here running our boards.
That would be neat. Or
Steve Albini.
Steve Albini, maybe Glyn Johns.
Or Sir, your guy. Your Beatles
George
man.
Martin's dead.
How about Sir George Martin Jr.?
Giles Martin. Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne would be amazing.
Jeff Lynne's team. Did you see that video of Jeff Lynne? There's a documentary about. Have you seen that, Vic? You must have seen it. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky. And it's pretty neat because he has got his whole big old giant house set up like a recording studio, and it's this big old mansion in Beverly Hills or something.
Like a recording studio?
Well, every room is equipped to be recorded in. So awesome. He's got plugs and he's outlets.
Turn it up.
He's got like 1/4-inch cables in the wall socket. He's got 1/8 inch. He's got
like in the wall
XLR.
You can plug in XLRs and go to the main board. It's pretty neat. And he's got microphones.
He's just waiting to be inspired at any time of the day, and he could be like
But he went back and he re-recorded all his old songs.
Oh, that was necessary.
Yeah.
It actually,
But
well,
actually,
no,
yeah,
it's true. It was
sonically it
because
is,
not just sonically, but business-wise, it it changes the publishing deals that he has. So it like re-ups the publishing deals.
But you can't really tell that they're like re-recorded because he's just like such a master.
I know he's such a master. They're identical sounding recordings,
really?
Doug.
Yeah.
What is
so
Matt?
smart.
Well,
What
that's
is Matt
necessary.
saying?
Why couldn't he just take the one and just EQ it a little bit? Be like, I redid it.
No, you can't. But
Give me that.
because it's
new
technically
publishing.
a re-recording, and it's just like he's covering himself essentially. So it's,
Okay.
that's why
I know. I've heard bands
Randy Newman did
that do that.
Is this how you talk now? I have bands. Wait, something just changed.
I heard bands.
Something-
I've heard albums that they re-recorded and they sound really so different that they suck.
I see. This thing is fucked. My
no.
1/8" from my laptop is touchy.
Do you need? Is it RCA?
It's good. I just had to diddle it a little bit. Listen,
smells good.
it is good to see you guys. It is good to be back on the air. We have a.
I love you guys too, I really do.
We are wigging out today, by the way. We are wigging out. It was an idea. Let me just back up. It was an idea I had pretty much alone, solo. I was up in my daughter's playroom. I found some of her wigs, some of the family wigs.
That's really cool.
And I said, this is
family wigs?
We have a family wig box. And I said, before I finish this great story, I just want to let you know the phones will be open shortly. We're still there's a technical issue there as always, but we are working on that. Simply,
Sorry about that.
maybe 5 minutes or so. The phones will be open hopefully, but there is so much to talk about. And I said yesterday on Twitter, I want to make this about the calls. So it's ironic that we don't have that working right now. It's a simple matter.
Everyone has a story.
Of my side laptop, my side piece, my Goomba, what's that called? A Goomba? The laptop.
How do we get porn?
Can you just calm down? Here's what Doug's doing. Doug's doing an inventory.
I'm testing my.
You're doing an inventory of your drops.
Yeah.
Which is bumming me out because I'm trying to get a flow going.
We were talking about laptops and family wigs. It's like, we need more.
That's what the audience needs to hear. You are literally just listening to what you've got. And the whole reason we have all these plugs and mixers and everything is so that you could do that in the privacy of your own headphones.
No, I was playing those as content, not as.
No, you're not. You are going through. Oh, I got this one. Got to remember to play this one. And
No,
then there's
I'm
this
not.
one.
I'm just playing funny sounds in the back.
You're not listening to the show.
I'm seasoning your story.
You're not. They're not related to the
People want unrelated.
What are you doing now, Vic? Do you want me to smack you around too?
What's that on your head?
It's a wig song.
So what's that on your head? Now
See that?
that's why Vic will always be my favorite son.
I'm a little more abstract than that. That's just not how I work. That's fine. I don't want to be number one.
I just
want to
noticed-
be, I'm not for everybody.
I just noticed your variety hat. Jesus Christ. I'm also wearing a sport coat because of my I was so embarrassed by my
Your pits?
pit stains
But
last
you
week.
really think you're not going to sweat through that, though?
I will, but you're not going to see it, gang.
takes
I mean,
a
you're
little
not going
longer. We're not
to.
doing 8 hours.
I also adjusted how does the camera angle looks better. It's just a better
The
show.
lighting.
The lighting is good. I think what's going to happen is we're going to. By the way, if you're listening to the podcast, thank you for supporting the podcast. What a terrific opportunity it's been to be able to provide that service. But we're talking about wigs and what we're wearing, and there's nothing. There's no. Who cares what we're wearing for the listener? Caller.
How does it sound to people? In the chat?
Everyone's happy.
Okay.
And
It's
ask
very
me-
loud. It's still very loud for me.
Listen, shut up.
What the fuck
Shut
to do?
up.
It's bothering me.
Just take one ear
It
out.
is, and I can
Well,
still-
Yeah.
you could turn. You're coming out of your mixer, right?
No,
I
I'm
can't
thinking
talk about this
I'm coming
anymore.
out of
There's
tins.
more important things going on. Calm down. Matt Carlin is listening. He's at
He
home.
says it's okay.
Ask him. Text him.
Matt, is it okay?
Jesus. I'm at Doug's house. Look at this.
Everybody just cool out.
I'm using this Pee Wee Herman mug.
Jesus, Condi.
Did that one fit in with the?
So let's talk about this. Let's talk. Just get this out of the way, so because we don't want to talk about the listeners.
You better have some Jesus on tap then.
I also think what's going to happen is the effect that you have going on. It's already peaking in terms of like overuse. You know, like this whatever delay that's on.
I got a little reverb on there.
But it's getting.
Vic's got him too.
I got it too.
It's old. It's getting so old and dated and tired. From a comedic place.
Why don't you ask the office hour coworkers and see what they think?
What
what they think.
You guys are just gonna start ganging up on me. That's
no. It'll be in the comments. You know, and you can make it up and say, you could.
Main mix is a little low, according to Matt. So
I don't know how to adjust that, so everyone can confirm.
Everybody just turn their volume up.
It's a little low. Maybe it's because it's coming out of your shit speakers. Why don't you get some Blaupunst boot? I don't know where the main out is on this.
What's up, everybody?
Shabbat shalom.
What is the... Get him out of here.
How's everybody doing?
What is the main out? Is it my mixer, main audio? What is the main out? I know what it is. Hold on, I can figure this out. It's this. Yeah. It's got to be the main out, right?
I'm out.
How's that? Let's say I'm sweating in this. I'm sweating in this fucking wig.
I'm fucking in and you're fucking out.
I don't know. I've got the main out like pretty loud here, so I don't know what's going on.
Are you kidding?
I wish. See, now I'm too loud. I wish somebody would just step up to the plate and fix this problem once and for all. You know what I mean?
How's that working out for you?
Nobody's interested in doing that.
Right.
Nobody wants to take that initiative. It's like the Trump administration. Nobody actually wants to do. They want to come out and do their speech. Right. Here I go.
Just give Doug's address out and just have somebody come over. Whoever's listening.
You know, there's 1,000 kids that are
like
you know just
to come out
graduated from some the New York Recording Academy or whatever, Film Academy. This is what's going out to the right. Oh, now they're getting up. Now they're scurrying around. What do you want me to do? I have no idea. I don't know. I need you to come in and say, "Here's the deal, Jack. We need Joe Biden."
Control. It's going to be just fine.
Okay. I'm also going to try not to touch my face. Now I got these gloves on. You know.
Right.
I'm not doing that as much. I'm not pulling on my neck, my what do you call it, the turkey. That's what we want, right? Okay. All right, I need you to get back on phones. You're not going to solve this. People are just going to have to deal with it.
I like food.
Someone said I'm the worst friend ever. I'm just trying to I can't be all huggy what's it called? Lovey-dovey and huggy. I can't be touchy, I'm like a tiger. I'm a tiger mom with you two. Right. A tiger mom. Tiger mom. You know what that is?
No.
That's just like using more discipline. Tough love. I got to smack you around a little bit. You hear me? Robert Davi understands that old school. Nah, this is old school.
That's a pile of bullshit.
All right, we are standing by for phones. Let's talk quickly about the Gal Gadot video that came out last night. I think Doug quit.
He's done.
He's either quit or he's taking a SHIT. We got notes from YouTube. They want us to keep the show clean. They want it to be a G-rated show, so we have to keep the cursing down to 0. He's going to number 2, I guess. Yeah, so last...
Is he all right, though? Should we check on him, or is he around?
Aristotle, did he announce his departure in any kind of way?
He's wiping himself.
You heard
down.
a flush?
Yeah.
Why isn't there a flush drop? Also, you know, it's all so shitty. We're doing flush. Vic's doing flush drop work.
A flush queued up here, but I got all the other sounds.
We have 800 people watching right now, so let's step it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get the show back on track.
No more shit drops.
Today.
Did you fart?
Stop. Doug,
Yes.
everything come out all right?
I didn't. I just had to pee.
Fair question. Let me just say a couple business items here, and so we can get this clear. Today will be the first episode of Office Hours After Hours. If you're interested in that, at 10:30 we are going to power down and then start back up, do another half hour of the show. That will be available on patreon.com/officeHoursLive. Okay.
Need I say much more?
So just get ready for that. I don't know if that's going to happen immediately in terms of your access to it, or the next day or two, probably same time the podcast comes out. But you jump on over to patreon.com/officeHoursLive. $5 a month, you're going to get that extra thing and whatever else we fucking throw in that box.
Isn't that cute?
Right.
Isn't that nice?
You're going to get a personal massage from Chubby Checker. That's one of the things we're working on.
I'm just a human being, and I go to the bathroom like everybody else.
Another thing to announce, big news, Vic Berger released his new Jim Baker's Buckets video over there on the Vice media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Vice News, in
Right,
matter of
Vice
fact.
is news now.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah. Steve Inskeep.
No, I'm thinking of Peter Jennings.
Peter Jennings, yeah.
Peter Jennings from ABC
newsman
News.
now. Yeah, if you guys go to Vice News, wherever on social media, YouTube, like it, share it, whatever.
TikTok.
So if it does well enough, I think they might ask me to do some more. So just a one-off right now.
I recognize you as a powerful talent.
Want every radio station playing the twist. Want everybody on TV doing the twist.
Okay. Doug, anything to promote on your end since we're getting this crap out of the way? Not really.
The Poundcast, and I did 2 videos last night. How to make toilet paper at home with using computer paper.
Nice.
And
I think that's helpful.
I did a...
And you can listen to the Poundcast on your podcast provider.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. You can just log onto that. We often swap guests. It's almost like a sister show to this show, do you think?
It's a cousin.
And Doug's, is it your latest episode, has me and
Phil
Uncle
Braun?
Phil on it.
Vic and Phil are on the latest one came out last night, but the one before that.
The one before that.
I want to thank Phil Braun for. So last week was so special. It really was something. It's what's really interesting about it is how aligned the Lord is with me. How much He is looking out for me and only me, because I say this. Let's go back to January. Is it my computer that's doing that?
That hum?
Yeah, that hum that's my computer.
You better have some Jesus on tap then.
Phil?
So this past January, which seems like, 25 years ago, doesn't it?
Jesus.
I said flippantly, or maybe it was even at the end of last year. I don't even remember when I threw this idea out there. I said, when I come back from tour, it's going to be a long time that I'm going to be away from the show. But I love the show. I'm not giving up on the show. I want to grow the show. I want to build this into something powerful, something motivational and moving. I'm like Dylan. And I said, here's what we're going to do. I just threw it out there at the end of the show. I said, come back. We'll do an 8-hour show, 9 to 5. You laughed. You Philistines, you Judas, laughed.
This show is loose. I like that.
You laughed. Said, we're not doing bullshit, asshole. Vic said, bullshit, asshole. We're not doing this. You're a fucking pipe dreamer. You're a pipe dreamer. That's what you are, Jack. Is that you? Was that Doug? So loud.
That's not true.
But then we just said, you know what? Let's commit to it. Let's do it. Where can we do it? Our office, Absolutely Office, is closed, or it's moved right now. It's going through renovation, and obviously not at a good time. We were away. It was a big mess. The whole thing was a big old mess. Doug graciously opened his heart and his home to us and said,
Close it.
Come over. Let's set up. Do it here. The show must go on. Like
Glad you could drop in.
Like Barnum and Bailey said so beautifully. Barnum and
Close
Bailey.
it.
Barnum and Bailey said that at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The show must go on. They said that to a giant crowd.
Hello.
What is going on? Stop. He's cycling through his drops. It's like he's got it on shuffle.
This is so stupid.
You've got it on shuffle. And I'm about to put him in timeout. Yep, he's in timeout. Good night. Vic, you have the floor. Be respectful. All right. Or I'll shut you down,
What's
too.
the difference between his and mine?
I know yours because it's got that damn...
We both have that.
I know what I'll do. I'll pan you guys.
I was going...
then you can tell. Yeah.
My last few drops were dry.
I will pan you guys so I can tell instinctually
pan.
Vic's
45,
coming over
45,
here.
yeah.
And by the way, the audience is going to pan you guys too. Trust me on this. Now listen. I'm in the middle of a very captivating story. We do the show 9 to 5 last Friday. Now, when I announced this, God knows I had no clue that we'd be facing this disaster that we're facing right now. It's a pandemic. I call it COVID-19 or coronavirus, frankly. And the...
If I get corona, I get corona.
Yeah. But then it was like by midweek last week, there was already this kind of feeling of like, oh, we better not, no handshakes and let's wash our hands. And it was very kind of, that was starting to percolate into the world. It wasn't to the point where we said, well, we better not have people show up. And then it really hit us, I think, when we were in the room together. That holy shit, there was a lot of people in this room.
The big moment for me was when I fucked up and shook Dave Weigel's hand.
And he had just been flying around.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
So we're all like, everyone's got to be a little understanding. I think if we're trying to catch up to this situation. We're trying to catch up to how to behave, how to interact. We had a long talk about whether we should do this in person, and obviously we're trying to take precautions.
Right, we're staying away.
We're staying away from each other.
I'm in the kitchen here.
I don't know if Doug is exactly 6 feet away from me, but I frankly I could use him a lot further away. Aristotle, how's the phone situation? What's that? You're on the phone with Matt. Okay, terrific. But then on the positive, here we were. Again, don't know this is going to happen, but here we were together, friends. Some of the great funny minds. Fred Armisen, is the only name I can think of. Obviously, other people were here. Brendan Walsh was here, but there were funny people here as well.
Sarah Squirm was
Sarah Squirm. From the political world, from the journalistic world, we have the Washington Post's Dave Weigel was here.
Mm-hmm. Our dads were here.
Vic and Doug's dads really made it a special experience. And it was a special experience. And frankly, it was a special experience.
Shabbat shalom.
So I think driving over here, I thought, well, do we want to dwell on the pandemic today? Or do we want to move on? Not move on, but at least give people...
That's how special you are to me, and that's how much I love you.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying.
Do we want to give people's minds a distraction from what's going on? Or do we want to sit around and be in the moment and get through and talk about our own experiences with
This virus ain't that serious.
Now, I want the phones to get working as soon as possible so that we can listen to what you guys have to say. And that's the whole point of the show.
Anybody that needs a test gets a test. And the tests are beautiful.
So people on the chat, I think, I can't read the chat because it's so quiet, it's so low. But
we've been self-quarantining. I have young kids. But you know what we did yesterday? I had to get them out of the house. I took the kids to the beach.
Took the kids to the beach, like the spring breakers.
We stayed away from everybody, open air, a little wind, some waves. Kept
Was
them
it cold?
apart. Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, but it was something to do.
Did they go in the water?
They did a little bit. They dipped their toes in. But
what beach?
Manhattan Beach.
I did it again. I touched my face.
Oh,
Fuck.
Shit. But you got gloves on.
I know, but I'm going to eat these gloves afterwards. They're edible gloves.
Cut the tape.
I mean, that's the nightmare. We have edible gloves.
Are they made out of like fruit roll-ups stuff?
That's right. They're melting right now. Let's talk about the Gal Gadot video because like I was trying to say earlier, Eric Natornicola sent it to me about 9:30 last night, being like, "Uh-oh, big time cringe alert." And it was...
I don't know who Gal Gadot is again. Who is that?
Superwoman.
Oh. Okay.
Or Wonder Woman.
What? Superwoman.
Superwoman. Yeah, you know Superwoman, right? She got fucking kryptonite and all that. Yeah.
Miss Israel, 19 something.
I hear a phone ringing.
That's a good sign.
Oh. Whoa! Sorry,
Wowee.
I got... That's a cool sound.
Wowee. Is that a natural reaction? What is that now?
That's like...
Oh, we're getting that feedback now.
Tim's got his own effects going here.
Vic, make sure everything's turned down on your mixer.
Yeah.
Well, I actually can't be you because...
Sweet. Oh, welcome to Kryptonite. Welcome to Krypton. I'm Superman. How you doing? I landed in Kent. So anyways,
Gal Gadot video. Let's get through it.
I know. So I sent it. I tweeted something mean. I said, "Do Working Class Hero." I'm obviously a big Beatle freak and a big Beatle John Lennon guy that knows anything about John Lennon. And I said, "We'll do Working Class Hero next," which is a very bitter, angry, political leftist song from John Lennon. It's like a very, very Dylan-esque folk song. But this got a great line in it. You're all fucking peasants. Was it? A working class hero is something to be. And it's that during that real primal scream. But then I said, let's do the same kind of video of Imagine, but do it with How Do You Sleep? So Sergeant Pepper took you by surprise. You ought to look right through that. So Vic, what the hell was that? Vic, Doug, right after the Beatles, I'll give you a little history here. Right after the Beatles broke up, there was a lot of animosity between John and Paul in the group, right?
Everybody just cool out.
Why?
And why? Well, it was the group broke up, and there was a lot of business disputes. The big fraction was fracture was big fraction. The big fracture was that John wanted to bring in this manager named Alan Klein, who had represented the Rolling Stones, amongst other groups. I think Sam Cooke as well, and John and Paul wanted his father-in-law. Eastman.
Linda Eastman's
dad. Linda Eastman's dad. I can't remember his first name. John Eastman, I think. And so that was there was a lot. I mean, they were already kind of going different ways, but there was a lot of the way the Beatles broke up was kind of nasty, you know.
Well, if John brings Yoko, then why can't Paul bring father-in-law?
Well, that
sounds like an even split.
That's a personal. It was personal versus bit. You're mixing personal and business now, Doug. We don't want to do that. Anyways, there was this, and they had to sue each other, and there was a lot of shit going on. George Harrison wrote a song. So, but a lot of the dirty laundry got aired in their songs because they were writing all these songs about each other in those first few years of 1970.
What did you say about Harrison? Tim?
George Harrison wrote a song called "Sue Me, Sue You Blues," right?
Yeah.
And so maybe Vic can be playing some of these pieces while I'm giving this beautiful story. But sue me.
Beautiful story.
It's a great story. But one of the songs Paul wrote a song called "Too Many People," which is very much about John and Yoko and all their political stuff. Too many people going underground. Too many people want piece of cake. Yeah, so it's all kind of too many people. You know, I wrote it about John. I
heard that Yellow Submarine was about this yellow dildo that Ringo used to.
I don't think
jam up Paul's butt.
No.
I'm warning you with
all right.
peace and love.
But John then responded in song with a song called "How Do You Sleep?" And
they just talk to each other, write songs.
It's so mean. Yeah. It's so mean. They're like, the only thing you done was yesterday.
But also, wasn't there like a fight?
That's kind of fucking mean, right?
Yeah. Wait, the only thing literally say yesterday. The line again.
The only thing you done was yesterday.
Paul's big song is Yesterday.
Right.
It's like the
most,
okay. But also Yesterday,
it's
like
straight up.
already.
It's not even.
It's literally yesterday. Yeah.
And then the other line was like, "Those freaks was right when they said you were dead."
I didn't know this stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, so is that a Beatles song?
No, it's a solo.
Okay. But also, like, John was pissed because like they were, working out their contracts, and I think Paul just dropped his solo album before anybody else.
Yeah, he kind of.
So this is like rap, kind of like rap beef.
Yeah, it's total.
That.
What do you call that? Diss track.
Diss
sort of.
tracks. Yeah.
And what's really gross is that George plays on that song. How do you sleep? He plays the slide guitar.
Did he like trick him into it? He's played this instrumental.
No, he probably knew.
He plays like there's a film of this. Like they made a documentary about this album, and they played a film of John demoing it to George, going like, "Listen to this, you're gonna love this one." And then he plays it. So
wait, so how did Paul agree? Was Paul like, you know what, you're right? Yesterday was the only shit I did.
We'll play a little piece of
Wait,
that.
what was the other burn he did?
I mean, it's actually a great sounding song.
Phil Spector.
We need Spector in here.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
He's in jail.
Make that wall of sound. He could probably do it from behind bars on a laptop.
Yeah, we could probably get him to call in.
You was dead. All right.
Rocket, man.
So then here he is with
Rocket, man.
with George talking to him.
Okay.
See if we can find that. Oh, maybe this clip doesn't have it. Never
How
mind.
do you sleep, you cunt? One thing that's really shitty about this Doug version of the Doug studio version, and it's really my fault, but I'm on this really rickety plastic. What do you call it? What's this
table?
Table, folding table.
Yeah, but it's like what's this material?
Plastic.
Yeah, basically. And so it's really rickety, and my camera's on that. So every time I touch the thing, the camera's shaking around.
You could get a suction cup and put it on the window.
I thought you were gonna say like
we can take calls.
I thought you were gonna say like plastic.
Right.
Oh no. Banned.
But here's
I thought there was gonna be some.
But you see, still need to figure something out, Aristotle, because when I bring the caller line up, we're getting the.
Oh boy.
We're getting.
Is that my effect?
Vic, you mean the plastic?
No. Oh no.
Oh
no. Banned.
There it is. There it is.
Tim?
Try it again.
The plastic?
Yeah. Oh no.
Banned.
Oh no. That's very good.
Oh no.
So wait, can we take calls? Hello? Anyone there? I don't hear anybody. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hey.
Now is not the time for you guys to play your fake out call drops. Who's on the line?
Colin?
Colin?
Colin's calling.
Oh, hey. Hey, Tim. Wow, I made it. Made it through.
God damn it. Thank God the show is back.
A what?
Cool. I'm the Charles Dwop guy from Twitter.
Oh God, this is the
Remember
most
that?
this is the most fucking tolerable person in the world.
Bye.
This
I'm
scumbag.
a little cooler than that Twitter exchange.
Well, how do you feel about that? Let me hold on. Let me set the stage. I don't want to spend too much time on this because a lot of our delicious listeners. Is that the worst thing I've ever said?
Delicious.
A lot of my delicious listeners.
That's a new drop.
He goes, I loved the show, the live show. We're going to talk about the tour for about 2 minutes here. And then, Aristotle, can you make sure we get Vera on the phone soon? And just talk to Matt about that. He'll know what I'm talking about. Vera Drew wants to talk about Beef House and everything else going on in her world.
Hello.
All right, we're getting the show back together. Now, Colin, right? No, what's your name?
Yes, I'm Colin from Brooklyn.
We do this show. The live tour goes out into the universe, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. I already have, but as you can imagine, listeners, if you haven't seen the show, if you have seen the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. that in the show there's a lot of product, like satirical product placement of real products.
Okay.
So we talk about Charles Schwab, we talk about Boot Barn, we talk about
I think I know
Stouffer's, AEG, the concert promoter. And this kid on the line right now, this guy right now who runs the Psychedelic Philosophical Institute.
Brooklyn Psychedelic Society.
There you go.
Yeah, good times, huh?
He writes me, he says, I love the show. I had a really good time, but I was a little disappointed to see all the overt product placement in the live show.
Shush.
And I go, dude, you got to be kidding me. Do you even know what we're about? And you thought that we missed an opportunity to get money from these pieces, and that it was all convoluted. It was all coming from this real kind of petty, negative place.
But has he not seen anything you've done?
That's
before?
what I thought. Like, where are you coming from?
No.
So go ahead.
I've been a long time fan. I've been watching you guys since I was like 16 or something. And I totally get what you were kind of going for. But I just, like native marketing, as you see in like online publications where people have trouble discerning if whether it's an ad or the actual content.
Yes.
Like the world you and Tim or you and Eric were making fun of in 2007, 2008, like became real. And I think like you're kind of towing a line where my cynical side's wondering, oh man, are like Tim and Eric even potentially getting those native marketing bucks that, because the market you attract, like young millennial people are, hard to get to.
We've crossed that line. I mean, we've done real commercials. We've done things for, the Purple Mattress and the Totinos, and we did feel that in the past 10 years or so, things have kind of changed in the way people think about that stuff, where if we get kind of creative control to do whatever we want to do, let's be honest, the shows we're making for Adult Swim are all supported through advertising. So it's like, if we're making an awesome show, it's essentially the way that's being funded is through advertising of fucking cologne or ball spray or whatever, So
ball spray. Yeah.
So
good old ball spray.
But I thought it was a little naive to think that in our live show that there'd be any kind of like cynical us using this opportunity, and also the products we're highlighting are so not in the demo of the audience we're playing to. It just like we're not putting that much thought into it.
Yeah,
where it's like
I'm the idea of like
excuse me, let me finish my
postcards.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
making that way into like people's homes and stuff as little souvenirs. Maybe you didn't think of that, but I think I'd be like, oh wow, we just got to like 30,000 random millennials around the world with these cute little playbills.
The difference is,
and Eric made.
The difference is, I think, and let me just speak for a second. I think first of all, our audience is smart enough to know that we're not promoting Aetna, because one of the biggest laughs of the night was when I say one of the great things about being an American is access to private health insurance. Every night that got a big laugh because our audience gets that the whole system out there is absurd, and that the over promotion of Aetna, who fucking wants to hear about Aetna? And we did have a sort of discussion about whether or not we should make it a fake name, or we're going to get sued, or we're going to get a cease and desist. Someone saying like you don't have permission to use that name, and we just said, well, it feels much more kind of biting and cutting to. And Vic was in those conversations.
Because I originally in the video about Cisco Foods, I had it spelled Cisco, like the rapper, like the thong song guy.
It just felt like a bad joke.
Yeah, bad joke. So you changed it back to.
Yeah. So
and Vic, I emailed you about doing that fundraiser thing. Remember?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Listen,
yeah.
I beat up on you on Twitter. Everybody did. We gave you a bunch of shit for it.
Did you see that guy? He like reposted it and it got like 3,500 likes, and like people were kind of harassing me a little bit.
Well, listen, you
got a little nuts, but it was interesting.
Listen, Twitter's not the real.
It was a fun exchange.
Twitter's not the real world.
Yeah.
We all behave differently there. It's not how you should reflect on how people think of you in real life. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on.
Wait, can I ask you one more quick question?
Yes.
He's not a bad guy.
Have you seen the research being done on psychedelics for mental health and things like that?
Yes, I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
I've heard you make.
I've seen it all. Thank you very much.
Joe Rogan goes a little ham.
Thank you. I've seen it all.
And whatnot.
I've seen it all. Next caller.
But
thank you so much.
What is your take on that?
I will tell you. I will tell you soon.
This is craziness.
Wait, I don't even know what
all right,
that's
cool.
about.
Bye now.
Well, thanks for having me.
This is weird. Well,
I'm not. The thing is, this is one. This isn't. I don't want to take up any time on this.
Right.
I think I'll say one thing. I haven't read it. People have said it's a good book. Is Michael Pollan's book on the subject, the latest Michael Pollan book.
420.
Which is whatever it's called. Okay, you can go on Amazon.
People.
And it's a book about how psilocybins and that kind of stuff
what
can
you
be
should
used.
Think about doing is an ayahuasca session.
Can be used for great purpose for treating depression, mental illness, Anyways,
build that wall.
I don't really know. Okay, I don't suffer from any afflictions.
Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. What a great quote.
I did have this thing happen on tour where people were saying, like, I saw your show I was on acid last night and it was so great. I was like, that sounds like a fucking nightmare to me.
I mean, it's already a nightmare as it is.
I did all those drugs back in high school, and I think I'm done. I don't imagine ever getting back into that scene.
I've never done any, but I would like to. So maybe we can do that sometime on the show.
I couldn't imagine. Yeah, let's put
bring Davi in.
Let's get a drop.
Let's dose Vic.
I actually would like to try it sometime.
I think you should. Everybody should.
I'm almost 40, so it's kind of weird.
How about for the next 8-hour marathon?
Yeah, do it.
12-hour.
Yeah.
Everybody should. I'm not going to recommend anything.
Everybody should.
I think. Listen. If everyone, it's a Paul McCartney quote. If everyone did it, we wouldn't have any wars.
What's up, everybody?
But I smoke. I've gotten back into. I was never like a weed guy. But now that there's all this sort of high-end, it's not just like oregano you're buying from the high school senior who's into fish. And I'm not talking about the stuff that swims in the seas. I get a little vape. On tour, it was great for after the show, like before I went to bed in the bus. I'd take one little hit. And I'd just go. My body would completely freeze. I'd turn into a mummy. And I smoked a little with my mom the other night. That's a trip, man. That's a trip. You can't get through. Drop out, man. Drop out. That's the way it goes. I got so many texts coming in.
A what? A what? A what? A what? A what?
I heard you the first time. I just wanted to hear it again.
A what? A what? A what? A what?
Make some noise.
What?
That is painful for me. But the twist is just a wonderful thing. It's the most sexiest.
Hang on now. Vera? Vera?
Vic, I got some chocolate for you.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to dip a toe.
Vera?
Dip a toe
Hello?
into the pool.
Hello.
Okay.
Vera?
I'm not getting it. Dip it.
Hello. How are you?
What has become of you? You know that one?
There we go. Yeah. Partially named after that song.
Oh, man. Isn't that a good one? Are you a Floyd freak?
I was a Floyd freak in high school and then got endlessly ridiculed for liking Pink Floyd in college, so became a secret Floyd freak, and now I'm back on the Floyd train, out and about, fully embracing it.
It's fun to get back into that, and really now with streaming, you can dig into all the old you ever put on Uma Guma? But give me a little Vera Drew. Give me a little Vera Drew. I mean, not Vera Drew. What's the person's name in that song? Vera. Not
Does
that one.
anybody hear about the
Vera Lynn.
Remember how she said we would meet again some sunny
day. Vera! Oh, this is so good. Let's just enjoy this for a second. Who's playing this?
I got it.
Vic?
I don't know.
Remember how she said that we would meet again some sunny day. All right, Vera! Fucking Roger Waters is so intense, so scary. I saw, did you ever get to see the live Roger Waters wall tour that he did a few years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was?
Build that wall. I mean on DVD.
Oh, yeah.
Build that wall.
I kind of listen to the wall too much, I think.
Yeah.
Like honestly, there was a period in my life where I think it was just like repeating in my head like every single day. So I kind of had to get some distance from it. But I really want to revisit that concert film because it's so good.
I saw it live in Anaheim, I saw it live in Anaheim, but at this hockey arena, and I swear to God, I'm sure I've told this story before, but my wife and I, it was a good 10 years ago, I think. Iraq War was kind of still in everyone's head, and people, it was like really bad, and there was the Bring the Boys Back Home part, and he showed this like montage of people coming home from the military, like with their families and stuff. We were sobbing. My wife and I were sobbing like babies. It was because just the whole show was a complete sensory overload. You didn't understand what you were looking at. It was one of the greatest. It was the greatest live thing I've ever seen by far. But if you watch, there's a really funny thing about what is that awful sound behind me?
It's ice skating.
Doug is
Is this on topic?
Can you imagine me sitting in this room, standing in this room, listening to that, going,
That is
why am I
painful for
stressed? I don't know why am I so stressed. Is it the
hurts.
coffee? Oh, no, it's ice skating sound effects that are ambiently going on in my brain. Let me say something.
I think when you die and go to hell, you're just going to be hearing Doug and Vic's drops over and over again for all eternity.
That is exactly what's going to happen. I'll have these headphones on. I can't get them off. They're like glued to my head. Get them off of me! Holy shit. Well, listen, wait, but if you watch the concert film of that from a few years ago, I guess they filmed it nice, and there's they start it with Roger Waters they see him finish the show, and they follow him from the stage through the arena, out the arena to his car that's like a SUV, like black, one of those big SUV Escalades or whatever, into the car where he's got a glass of red wine sitting there waiting for him.
How do you drink wine when the car's going? I mean, it's just
that's kind of funny. It's like it's only it's not filled up to the brim or anything. I think he's got to hold it, but it's so funny. Like, oh, that's an interesting way to live.
Yeah. Tim, what was that show called? Waters on Ice? I mean, come on. Doesn't sound dangerous.
Get out of here. Why don't you grow up?
Frozen waters.
Why don't you grow up? Anyways, Vera, you were a big creative. First of all, let's just give a little context of
my drops dropped out. By the way,
good.
You can't hear anymore.
I mean, thank God. Figure it out.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh, good.
Let me try it.
The test. You want to test it?
Shit.
All right.
I think the batteries died on this thing.
Okay. All right. Well, reroute, would you?
All right. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me just mute you. You tell me when you feel comfortable trying again.
I'm good. Let me try it again.
Okay.
All right.
I don't like my club at all.
Well, that's definitely you. That's not coming from Doug's end.
Hey, I'm Doug, man.
Vera's longtime ABSO editor. We can go through the resume if you want, but she also brought us the Channel 5 original programming, Scum, I Love David, directed and edited Our Bodies, and we had such a good time working with her that we brought her along for the Beef House ride. And
Hell yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's the story. That's the so I got distracted by the. I'm getting texts from people saying, "Can I call in? What's the deal?" John might want to call in. We'll see. Yes, I will. I'm trying to stay focused. I don't have a real producer right now because of like the quarantines and everything. But
how is the Hot Topic endorsement going?
We have a hot. Thank you, Vic. Why don't you interview Vera for a second while I deal with a little business here?
Okay. What's going on with the Hot Topic? I know you're trying to get them to endorse you, right, and use you as a as the face of Hot Topic. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So a lot of people who know me know that I mostly wear a Hot Topic clothes. It's a company I support and genuinely trust and believe in. So I decided to make a web series called Hot Topics with Vera Drew, that the express purpose of it is to get me sponsored by Hot Topic. Right. And also to kind of finally have my, high school emo girl phase, because as a trans woman who came out in her late 20s, I never got to have that. So now I'm hoping to have that on Hot Topic's dime.
Excellent. That's inspirational and may open the doors for others to follow in your footsteps. Do you see any interest from Hot Topic?
So and people don't believe me when I say this. They say they like the show. I've talked to them, but they are not eager to sponsor me because of how low my follower count is.
Right. You've got to reach a threshold. You've got to reach a threshold for them. You got to reach a threshold for them to sort of for them to make it sort of like a no-brainer. Do you have a concept of what that is? Where you are now versus where you'd like to be in, let's say, end of the week, 2 weeks from now?
By the end of the week, I would love to have 5,000 followers on Twitter.
We can definitely make that happen, folks. On Twitter, you're going to just want to go at Vera Drew. Simple as that. VERADREW. Get on there, follow. She's going to be
Vera Drew 22.
Oh,
Vera
sorry.
Drew 22. I'm the 22nd one.
Okay. Vera Drew 22. We got Vera Drew 22. Vera Drew 22. We got Vera Drew 22. Vera Drew 22. We got Vera Drew 22. We got Vera Drew 22. We got Vera Drew 22. What you gonna do? Follow Drew. What you gonna do? Follow Vera Drew. What you gonna do? Follow Vera Drew. 22. 22. All right. That'll be $500. So your first payment from Hot Topic goes directly to me.
Yeah, I'll send you some of the Marilyn Manson shirts.
Tim, who would you like to be the spokesman for?
Who would you like me to be the spokesman? Who would you want me to be the spokesman for?
Who would you like if you could pick any store in the mall?
Any store in the mall?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
Brookstone?
Spencer's.
Spencer's. What about Hollywood Video? Remember Hollywood Video?
Yeah.
Or Sunset Video, I think. There's one that was like, when I was a kid, you'd go into the mall. Suncoast. You'd go in and there would be videotapes, but there'd also be posters, little memorabilia things, and it was like going to Hollywood and Vine. It was like going down to the center of the action.
In Bethlehem, they took an old Hollywood Video and turned it into Woody's Bar. Just used the same font, just added a fake Y on the end of it.
I was thinking of you guys. I mean,
so they took the Holly part off.
Yeah. It was actually run by like an old Philadelphia Eagle, who played for like a year and got injured. And then he just played that aspect up of it, so there's Eagle stuff everywhere.
Vera, you're an editor, but also a director and a talent and a writer.
Okay.
Doug's an editor. Vic's an editor. I was just watching a movie last night. Have you guys seen Modern Romance, the Albert Brooks movie?
So good.
No.
Oh my God. It's so good. I mean, I'm on an Albert Brooks kick right now. I recommend to all my listeners, if you're looking for a comedy that's going to make you kind of forget the world's falling apart.
Is that where they go in the RV?
No, that's Lost in America.
That's a great one.
That's one of my favorite movies.
The one where they die, just like Heaven, or go to
Defending Your Life. I saw that last 2 nights ago. I'd seen it many times.
Is so good in that.
It's you know, you got to kind of. They're from the '80s, so it's a little bit of a whatever mainstream comedy time. But Albert Brooks is so great. He's. I want him to over. I mean, he's already in my mind. He surpasses Woody Allen as sort of like the the comedian of the 70s and 80s.
He's more likable Woody Allen kind of.
Yeah. And there's no like uncomfortably because he seems like he's a relatively good guy.
That's great.
So, but the reason I bring up Modern Romance, it's really uncomfortable because he is such a unlikable guy in the movie. He's such an annoying, like real clingy. He's in love with this girl and he's just like obsessed with her. But he's an editor. He's a film editor in the movie. So like there's 3 or 4 great scenes that you guys would love because it's like a very rare look at what the life of an editor is kind of like, or what it's like to deal with a director and what it's like to deal with like there's a whole scene where he's doing ADR and dubbing like footsteps in the scene that's like classic real life kind of thing. But you should also watch Real Life, which is another movie of his that's like I think his first movie.
Is that the one where they go on the bus or the
No, they have.
That's the one.
That's
with
where it's like a reality show. It's this is from the late 70s. I know what Doug's doing. He's doing some Foley work, right?
Yeah. Just go ahead, Tim. It's just part of the spice.
All right, Vera.
He's just showing you the tricks of the trade as an editor.
Anyways,
Hello.
I gotta run because I'm trying to get through a lot of calls today. But
of course,
I can't wait to. I don't know when I'll see you again. We may never see each other again. There won't be a.
Hopefully we get to do a Beef House season 2. I want to.
I know.
Hopefully Adult Swim finally releases the beef.
Let's release the beef. Release the beef. Release the beef.
Release the beef.
What else? I just want to say that real quick. Beef House is coming. Vera had a big part in why it's so great. We showed an episode on tour. It slayed every night. I mean, obviously we're playing to a sort of the right audience for it, you know, but we're very excited about it. It's really funny. We've got lots of ideas to do more. Hopefully we will do more. I think it's an exciting, new, but somewhat comfortable, you know, it's sort of what we do. It's what you're maybe will expect, but it's also really fun to watch, and it's just easy. It's easy.
It's somehow like the most accessible Tim and Eric show.
Yeah.
Even though like there's some of the most like fucked up stuff you guys have ever done in it, and like definitely I think one of the best brown jokes you guys have ever done.
Say no more. Say no more.
But it's 100% like totally accessible. Like I feel like I could show it to my parents and they would get it.
Okay. I agree. And I showed it to some people that aren't super fans, and they just were like, you know what, that was funny. Sorry. Hate to say it. All right, let's get Vera, be well. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Take care.
And do we want to try our next caller? Let's see if my instructions were passed along correctly. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Tim, it's John C. Reilly.
Hey, John. How are you? Long-time caller. John, in the flesh last week, which was exciting.
What?
Quarantined right now. Give us what's going on in your world. Give us the update quickly, please.
Can you hear me still? I put on my headphones.
You sat on your headphones?
No, I put them on so that I could be more focused.
No, I could hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Update from me is I've been pretty much holed up here at home, other than brief visits or groups of 5 or less.
Oh, really?
Ironically, the 3 things I've done where I've left the house were, 1 was visit your show, and 2 was the 2 other ones were making music with people in recording studios.
Really? Well, what's this all about?
Yeah.
Why wasn't I in the loop on this?
I love pretty music.
It wasn't my music. It was other people's projects. They asked me to come and do a verse or help write a song or whatever. So
did you do the Imagine?
Exciting stuff is coming out.
Did you do the Imagine verse?
I did not do the Imagine, but I saw Doug's remix of it, and that was pretty great.
Were you asked? Stop that. Were you asked to do it and you refused, or did you not get that text from whoever sent the text?
Or option 3, you got the text.
Even though I seem like a celebrity, I'm actually completely out of touch with the world of celebrities. So when things like that happen, bucket challenges, that kind of thing, I do not get the call. I do not get the call.
People know. People have an instinctual knowledge to stay away from you because you are not interested.
I don't know why. I'm just not on that hot list.
I love that. That's one of the things I love about you most. And your breath. Always have good breath.
Pal.
Always have good breath.
A sigh breath.
I've been thinking about, and I don't know how much you want to talk about this stupid fucking virus and all this bullshit.
We haven't talked about it too much, I think, so we can talk about it right now.
We have it under control. It's going to be just fine.
Oh, God. That timeline of all those stuff he said, by the way, is what a highlight reel that is. Holy shit.
That should
I saw it all put together, and I was just like, this is stunning.
This should be played every day in the fall.
But I'm thinking like, well, how, like, even once the infections go down and it's so-called stabilized and we can all go back to our quote normal lives, people are still going to be super paranoid about the next wave of it or whatever, or recurrence.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking, what are people going to do? Like have buildings that are like tested facilities, like you can't enter the building unless you've been verified that you do not have it. What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, somebody texted me last night, said this is like the dress rehearsal for the really bad one that's coming at some point in our lifetime. I don't know, man. I don't have
this virus ain't that serious.
Here.
It's like porn. When HIV hit, porn didn't die.
Right.
Porn just said, no, we're going to verify that people don't have this thing, and then we're going to have safe zones where we knock the boots.
Do you think you can have sort of like a sticker put like some kind of thing added to your license or something that says you've been cleared? But this thing is, it doesn't.
It's going to linger.
It's going to linger.
Yeah.
It's going to linger. And it's also like, yes, I was tested at this time, but then what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you have like a 2-week quarantine period, you've been tested, then you can enter this building, but then you can't leave that building because everyone in that building is safe. I'm just starting to think, like, how are we going to
come out?
Are people going to have the confidence to start interacting again?
I mean, we need to do what China did, the massive like mandatory lockdown. They got it down to only
0.
1 new case a day. Yeah, it might be 0 now.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't believe any of the news from any of these fascist countries because they're complete. Like Russia has 75 infections. Okay. Right. You're next door to China. You've got 75. Go fuck yourself, you liar.
Went to Russia, and he's a commie.
No, any of these places where the media is controlled by the government or the government controls like most aspects of society, you're not getting the real facts from those places. Right. We can't even get the real facts from fucking Dondo.
Listen, I have to try.
And Victor,
go ahead.
I'm also talking about after that, after this crisis period, when we move into like, okay, how do I, how can I possibly interact with people I don't know?
Mm-hmm. You can't. You just gotta.
And it's going to be these safe zones or safe compounds or I don't know. Like,
well, listen,
it's going to be a long time before people have the confidence to just meet freely again.
It's like I take the kids out for a walk or whatever.
Go ahead.
But like if we're like, if you see another family coming, like you're just avoiding each other. Just like you just got to separate.
You run. You say, kids, run.
And that's
now.
going to take a long time to trust everybody again.
But what about? Well, I know we're not going to get a vaccine for a little while. But when we do, will you feel better about things?
Anybody that needs a test gets a test, and the tests are beautiful.
The tests are beautiful. I'm told.
Yeah,
these
like
tests are a 10.
I heard. Well, yeah, vaccine's great, but then things mutate, and it's a little crazy.
I mean,
but
listen.
Let me move on to my silver linings talking points.
Yes,
please.
we need a silver lining.
Okay, silver linings are this. Vic just pointed one out. You go out into the streets anywhere, you see families all walking together with their children, talking to each other, enjoying the day. Yes, they're scared and freaking out, but they're getting closer. People are getting closer. People are spending less time on their phone. They're forced to be together in their homes, talking to each other, playing games, cooking food together. Like, the fabric of our interactions are going to be so much stronger coming out of this.
Because you have to be
like on a
together.
human level with our loved ones.
I will
and
say.
then you get all these.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We got all these artists who are forced to be home with all this time on their hands. There's going to be some amazing art that comes out of this. And the final thing I'm going to say is, well, go ahead. You were going to say something, Tim.
I would like to say, stop it. I would like to say, first of all, this is not an endorsement at all. Somebody sent me this app called Handshake. No, is it called Handshake? Doug?
House Party?
House Party. House
Hand
Party.
job.
No, House
Hand
Party.
job.
House Party is this. It's like this.
That's a different app I have.
It's a group app called House Party that, like, you just. It's like a group video chat, but it works really well, and it has all these kind of games built in that you can play interactively with it. It can do like Pictionary and stuff. And I was on it last night with some of my friends from college that are all over the country, and we were like on it for like an hour, talking, laughing, and it was like a good hang. And it was virtual; it was on our phones, but it was a good hang. I really don't like to use the phone, which is ironic that I have a call-in show, but I do like phone calls are awkward, especially on cell phones, and conference calls can be nothing worse. But I'm trying to do more video conferencing or video calls, FaceTime and stuff. You can do multiple calls on FaceTime because you want to see like when someone's about to talk, you want to have that eye contact. But man, the conference calls that happened for me this week and last week where there's this 2 minutes of this small talk at the beginning. I just want to like clear out now. Like, oh, can you believe what's going on with it? And then there's nobody, like you got to go through the news with everybody now every day. I want to move on from that.
I just glaze over when people start giving it political opinions. I just kind of glaze over. Maybe that's what people are doing right now, and you and I are talking. But,
I know.
John, do you have any good
don't
movie?
need, but actually, you don't need some fancy app. I've been doing some of this video conferencing, and let's be real. Like, everyone thought FaceTime was going to replace telephones. Everyone's going to want a video conference all the time. And it just didn't happen because there's just a lot of people in your life you don't need to see to talk to or whatever.
I don't see that upshot of these people.
I'm going to strongly encourage all the listeners to just randomly FaceTime your friends because it actually does make you feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Like you can make people laugh and,
I did a funny thing. Can I share
I did a dance party with a couple of friends yesterday.
Apple invented the
really
virus,
fun.
so people use their products more.
Doug thinks Apple invented the virus.
Apple invented it.
Use their
it's
products.
The Apple
more.
virus.
But can I share the dumb? Can I share the dumb joke I did with you and Fred last night that made me laugh? It made me laugh when I was going to sleep last night. I was like, and I've done this before with you guys. And imagine me doing this or us doing this when there isn't this going on. But I would just go to John and Fred. I go, selfies, anyone? Like three like
and then he starts sending pictures from lame red carpet.
Yeah, that's the joke. It's like Fred sends a selfie, and then you send a selfie, and then I send I just Googled my name, and there's me on the red carpet for some movie, and I send that picture. But can you imagine without the pandemic going on? That's something we would do. It's so lame. These three old men with families and lives sending selfies to each other. It's so gross. But,
hey, can we just swing back around to Beef House too? Because you sent me Tim sent me secret links to the episode, so I have received the beef. And let me tell you, folks, you are in for a treat. The most amazing thing is that you guys take this sitcom format and the structure of it with the laugh track and all that, and you put this subversive content in it. But even though it's like demented. It's about diarrhea and all these weird men living in a house.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to stick with it in the same way you watch those stupid WB shows where you're like, well, now I'm 5 minutes in. I need to see who took, who hid the pie in his locker.
Yeah, how are they going to get out of this jam?
For this.
How are they going to get out of this
jam?
jam?
It has that same hook. It's like these idiotic story beats that are set up, and then it's like reading Sherlock Holmes or something. It's like it's like opening cashews. You just gotta see the end of it. So that coupled with your demented humor, it's an incredible marriage of ideas. And
oh, thanks, man.
My God,
Thank you.
Just terribly jealous that I wasn't involved in it. I'll say that.
Well, I hope it's a nice. That's why we want it to be released early.
I like you guys.
We want it to be released early because it is a nice distraction for a few moments, and it's not.
Why not release the bass?
Release the babe. All right. I got to run, Johnny. I love you.
Hey, I just want to say real quick that I love you, Tim. I love you, Doug. I love you, Vic. And I love everyone who's listening right now because I'm a humanist. I love human beings.
Yes.
So just know you're loved.
You're loved by one of the greats.
Spread it around.
Some slob right now, some loser, some slob is sitting at home being loved by the great John C. Reilly. And that's something special. Some joke.
Even if you are a slob or a horrible person, I still love you.
My friend said I was a slob
Donald
yesterday.
Trump. I love it. Even though he's a rotten to the core person who's caused death and suffering, at one point he was a little baby. So I'm looking at that baby. I still love that human being.
I love it. All right. I love it. I love the sentiment.
I like it all.
Don't quote me on that.
Love you guys too.
Okay.
Really?
John, he's going to use that in his campaign. John C. Reilly loves Trump. I love Donald Trump.
God bless the United States.
All right. I'll talk to you later, and I'll FaceTime you later.
Jackie laugh. That's my Jackie laugh for you.
Oh, yeah. Let's get an isolated version of that so Doug can pull it later. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. That'll become a mainstay. Talk to you later.
Great. It's a little glitchy. Just
bye, guys.
Send me a voice memo.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Do we have a game ready? I think we have a game. Games must go on. This could become.
Do you want to say
hello?
We didn't get a lot of calls in.
Someone's there.
I know we have a call.
Do you want to? Okay.
We have a special call. I know we haven't gotten. Listen, the show we should do another. Should we just do another 8 hours? I mean, what are we doing here?
Let's just do another 8.
We got 1,200 people listening right now.
But like after 10:30, we should probably get a lot of calls.
Definitely,
right?
We'll clear the calls. All right, who's on the line?
Hello. This is Mauricio.
Mauricio from RockinPins, ladies and gentlemen. Mauricio, RockinPins. How do people get your pins, Mauricio? Where can we direct them?
If you go follow me on Instagram at RockinPins, I think that's the best way because there I could show you, the different items we have. We have shirts, pins, patches, and if you just follow us on Instagram at RockinPins, I post links to buy this stuff. But I usually use that to promote, like Three Stooges and other stuff like that. Like
I love you have a very niche market here. You have a very niche market, very specific pop culture, music, comedy, and whatever else. But it's a great service that you're providing, and people should support your business, RockinPins. You have a game for us today?
Yeah, I figure, since you guys are big fans of rock and roll, I actually love going to swap meets, and I found a vintage rock and roll trivia game.
Yeah, baby.
From 1987.
Whoa.
So I figured, we could play a game. I don't know if you want to, do best out of 5, best out of 10, you versus Vic, or if you want to get like a caller. I don't know if you guys can get another caller. Want to challenge Tim?
Why don't we get
stump the Tim?
Let's do a couple. How's it with this? Why don't we do? I feel like Doug, do you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay. Vic, do you want to? Vic?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
All right. So let's do 3. Let's do a best of 3. If you can calm down your phone wiggling a little bit, that would be great.
Oh, can I quick show you guys this? These are the Three Stooges pins that Mauricio is.
Yeah. Go over to Vic's camera. Yeah. I mean, that's what everyone needs right now.
Beautiful.
If you
I need a little.
forget toilet paper, I mean, wipe your ass with those pins. You know what I mean?
Give it a little rinse, you're fine.
Hey, and I want to give a shout out to Greg Turkington, aka Neil Hamburger, because I made pins for him, but he recently had a benefit show for Australian fires. I believe it was a couple months ago. I think Doug was a part of it as well. But he ended up raising a lot of money for the Australian fires. But I want to give a shout out to Greg. He's been a big supporter of mine, and I just really appreciate what he's done.
Do you have any?
One of my designers helped make the poster for that.
Do you have any pins, Neil Hamburger pins?
Yeah, I have Neil Hamburger pins available now. We still have the Brody Stevens pins. The money to get to that goes to charity to help people, comedians with mental health issues.
Great.
I did some things for Doug, and we're doing something really cool with Vic coming soon.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do best of 3 between Vic, Doug, and me, and then we'll have a VIP caller join and engage, and we'll do a best of 3 with them. All right, ready? The game begins.
And we have 6 categories.
The game
So
begins now.
let's do the categories, so. We have 6 categories. The first one is rock and roll. Surf. The second is surf and cruising. Then we have British invasion. We have soul music, pop music, and the last one is modern rock.
Okay, you
So
randomly
pick
pick
the first card and let me know.
You randomly pick the categories. I don't want to get in. I don't want to waste time on picking categories. I think.
Sounds good. This one is going to be surf and cruising.
Uh-oh. I'm good. I'm going to put money on Vic here.
Wow.
This one's for Vic?
No,
Vic,
I'm just
you ready?
Well, I'm just saying I think Vic's
like
going to get this
whoever
one.
like just how do we do we go like ding?
We play a drop. Play a drop.
No, well Tim doesn't have one. How about we go ding?
No, we'll just whoever answers first.
All right, let's just do that.
Could have been fun.
Okay, sounds good. Alluding to the Wizard of Oz, what did Elton John say goodbye to in
Yellow Brick
1973?
Road. Yellow Brick Road.
What? So who got that one?
That was me.
Tim.
Well, you got to say correct. You got to,
No.
Yeah.
You need like a ding, ding, ding.
I think we should go, first Tim, and then we go to the next guy, so that way you can keep track of who's actually getting these right.
No. Listen, I'll tell you how the game goes. Whoever answers first, and if they're right, they get the point.
Okay, cool.
It's a free-for-all.
Just because I can't hear, when you guys all say it once, so.
Well, we know. We can hear.
We'll tell you.
We'll be honest. The listeners can be honest, too. All right, next question.
Okay, next question. This one's going to be soul music. What group of sisters recorded the top 15 hit Yes We Can in 1973?
Obama.
Group of sisters? The
Pointer Sisters.
Staples Sisters.
Pointer Sisters is correct.
Two.
That's a good question.
2 for 2. 2 for 2. 2. Can we bring in our special guest?
Kiss my ass.
Anyone there?
Hi.
Hey,
How's
Fred.
it going?
Fred, we're playing a trivia game.
Hi.
Are these drops or is that?
Fred,
I
you're
know.
not here.
I heard that. I heard that Pointer Sisters one, and I was gonna guess the Mandrell Sisters. So, am I right?
No, it's Pointer Sisters.
Oh, damn it!
Now we're gonna go head to head, Fred versus Tim on the next best of 5 round.
Give me a shot at winning.
No,
One.
you're done. You're out. You're eliminated. What can we do? You're eliminated. All right, Fred, are you up to the challenge?
Just drain balls.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You guys ready for the next one?
Mauricio.
Here's the next one. Ernest Evans recorded the 1961 Pony Time under his more famous name. What is it?
I know it too. I could get this point, but I guess I can't.
I wish I could answer.
Wish I could
Ernest
answer, but
Evans,
it's just-
Pony Time is the song? I pass.
The song is Pony Time, released in 1961.
Fred, do you know this one?
You can ask a friend. You can ask a friend,
I was
Fred.
gonna guess like whoever did the Monster Mash.
Dude, this is
because of 1961.
for Vic.
But I have
I'm
no
dressed
idea.
like him right now.
Oh, is it Chubby Checker?
That's Chubby Checker.
I was going to guess that just for
Chubby
fun.
Checker.
That's the Chub. Pennsylvania's own Chubby
Okay,
Checker.
that's zeros all around. Poor Vic got
I'm just a human
iced
being,
out.
and I go to the bathroom like everybody else. Turn it up.
All right, let's get back to the
The
game.
next one?
Yeah. Oh for
Here's
oh.
the next one. This one is British Invasion.
Uh-oh. Freddie, I got you on this one, mate.
Where did the Beatles' Rocky Raccoon live?
North Dakota. North Dakota.
South Dakota.
Rocket, man. Here's the correct answer is somewhere in Black Mountain Hills of Dakota.
Ooh.
So I guess
where would
get
that
that
be?
right?
Where would that be?
That's a good
It just
question.
says Mountain Hills of Dakota.
So
And that's the lyrics from the song.
well, if those
Right, but-
if those
but
black if
which
those Black
Dakota
Hills
would it be if it's the Black Hills?
well
South
maybe
Dakota into Wyoming.
all right, I'll give that one to Fred. That's a little unfair, but I'm going to give it to you because I'm a fair person.
Yeah, but he probably couldn't fit the lyric in, the lyric in of South Dakota. So the Black Hills tells you that it's in South
Somewhere
Dakota.
in the
Thank
Black
you.
Hills of South Dakota. Doesn't he say?
He says it's like it could be Arkansas too in the mining days.
It's mostly North Dakota.
Somewhere in the Black Hills of North South Dakota. What does he say?
It was way back in the hills of Dakota. I don't.
Way back. Well, can you play the opening lines to that? Because I'm feeling like he does get a
South
North
Dakota
South in
is
there.
the answer. Give it to Fred so you can
But
have
let's
a
just hear it
tiebreaker.
real quick. Now, somewhere down in the South Hills of Boca.
It says here somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota.
Oh. Here's Paul with the answer.
Cut the tape.
Rocket, man.
What? That's not the original version. That's like the demo. God damn it. All right, can we
Cut
move
the
on?
tape.
Can we move on from this? This is the.
There it is.
This
Here's
is the. Hold
next
on.
question
Hold on, one
is
second.
modern rock.
Now somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota, there
Stop
lived
it.
a young
He says South Dakota.
He does?
I think so.
I think it was out of Dakota.
Question?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
What question was the title of Joe Jackson's 1979 initial chart hit?
Is she really going out with him?
Correct.
Is she really going out with him? Shit. All right, Fred's got 2.
Ask questions.
If he gets the next one right, he is deemed champion of this round. Shit.
This one is pop music.
Yes.
What Welsh singer was born in 1940 with the name
Tom
Thomas
Jones.
Jones?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. It's correct.
I love pretty music.
All right.
All right, so what's the score now? Two.
The pounding.
What is that?
2-1.
Wow.
All right. Now, will I tie or will Fred take it on this next question? That's the question. That's what everyone's wondering. The pounding.
The pounding.
A very healthy boy.
Here's the next question. This one's surfing cruising.
Oh no.
It's what?
Surfing cruising is the category.
I'm a genius.
Stop with the drops. Serious.
What girl's name was a #2 hit from the Beach Boys' Party album in 1966?
Rhonda.
Nope.
What was that?
Rhonda.
Can I answer?
The
Fred?
correct answer is Barbara Ann.
Yeah, me and Vic knew it. We're mouthing.
I don't like Michael
Damn
at
it.
all.
Barbara Ann.
The pounding.
Ba, ba, ba. All right. Fred, did you not know that? But or did you just not answer because you?
You know what? I just assumed Rhonda was correct.
Oh, I see.
So I didn't think. I was like, oh, that sounds right.
I'll stop the drops during the game. I'm warning you with peace and love.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
Is this the greatest, Fred? Don't we just want to live in this inside the world of this show for like a couple hours?
Oh yeah. I just want a disappearance to it.
Like this is just, what if this was just our reality? Maybe it would get old.
Oh, please.
All right.
Please. I would love it.
2-1. 2-1. All I did was buy time. I might just throw in wrong answers to buy time because you can't lose points when you get wrong answers. You just don't get points. It's like volleyball, I think. All right. Next question.
Is there a time?
I have a good one.
Is there a time limit? No. I mean, maybe. Is there? Yeah. How about 3 more questions and whoever's up wins?
You ready for the next one?
Real
Yes,
quiet
sir.
without drops, isn't it, Tim?
Yes, I'm getting. I'm clearing my head here. I'm actually able to focus.
Here's the next one. This one's modern rock. What Bette Midler film was said to be based on the life and times of Janis Joplin?
The Rose.
The Rose is correct.
Yes!
Wow.
What?
Wake up! I bet you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Let me take a pause for a second. Fred, your perspective on this would be appreciated. I have a feeling this segment of the show is going to be something that elevates the show to another level. People are going to...
Yeah, I agree.
I think people are raptured. They're completely captured by it. People love trivia. They love Jeopardy. They love different Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Ever heard of it? These are popular experiences for people.
One more question.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
How about winner take all?
Well, no. So it's 2-2. So this is it. This is where we're at.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's do
Mauricio,
it.
go for it.
Category.
You ready for the next one?
Yes.
The next one is surfing cruising.
What a bummer.
I know.
The Pandemonium Shadow Show was 1967 debut.
Harry
LP
Nilsson.
By whom?
Harry Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson.
Yes! You!
Everybody gets a
I would
trophy.
not have gotten it.
I like having fun.
Everybody gets a
I
trophy.
like being right when it comes to rock. I know everything about rock and roll. Sorry, Fred. There wasn't any. There wasn't any. You know. There wasn't any Sleater Kinney questions for you. There wasn't any. Devo questions. You know. Ramones. He's gonna complain that it was weighted against
rigged.
you, but
It was
it was
weighted.
rigged.
It was rigged.
Yeah.
You guys, it's not fair.
Tim loves surfing and cruising.
Now this is a first of all, thank you, Fred. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Marcelo. Mauricio. Shit, I'm trying to do a million things here.
What is it? RockinPins.com. Is that right?
RockinPins. RockinPins. RockinPins.com. RockinPins. RockinPins.com.
RockinPins.com. RockinPins. RockinPins.com.
Hey, RockinPins. RockinPins.com. RockinPins. RockinPins.com.
RockinPins.com.
RockinPins. RockinPins.com. All right.
RockinPins. RockinPins.com.
Now, if you got,
Can I give an exclusive announcement of 2 artists that we just signed?
Yes.
We will be making officially licensed Gilbert Gottfried and Groucho Marx merchandise.
Whoa,
man.
True, my parents got coronavirus.
That's fucking big.
I think that's unbelievable, man.
I think they're blowing it way out of proportion.
So that's huge. And
I'll say.
I'd go support those pins today if I were you. You can use those pins also to poke yourself in the arm to see if your arm's still alive, if you have feeling in your arm.
And thank you for keeping the old Fleischer cartoons in people's minds here, but I just always got to mention that because you're the only one.
You're the broken record.
We have
now,
it under control. It's going to be just fine.
Here's what we got to do. Mauricio. Is it Mauricio? It's a hard name to remember for me. I got to figure out a way to remember a mnemonic way.
I used to work for you.
I know, but so many millions have worked for me. Millions. Fred, can you stay on for a few? Because we haven't even really gotten to talk. We're going to enact, here's what we're going to do. We're going to begin office hours after hours, which is the exclusive office hours. It's just for people that pay for the show. So we've never done this before. What we're going to do, we're going to keep rolling, right? Wow. Keep rolling on the Zoom. But I'm going to unplug the audio. We're going to end. Should we just end the stream?
Maybe keep it going. Probably on YouTube, right? I don't know.
No, that's the whole idea.
No, but take the audio out.
Take the audio out? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm going to take the audio out. So stay on the line, Fred, and we're going to talk about your isolation.
Shabbat shalom.
Okay.
Let's let's get some end theme music here just to say goodbye to the regular listeners real quick.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week on Office Hours. Check out Office Hours After Hours by going to patreon.com/officeHoursLive to find the next half hour, which features the one and only Fred Armisen. He's regretting it as we speak.
Thank you for listening.
And that I love. Stand beside.
During this may find things they would argue.
I'm gonna pull the audio.
Here we go.